Hello everyone, welcome to the Python lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about bitwise XOR operator. I have already discussed about AND operator and OR operator. So in this section, I'm going to cover XOR operator. So let me write it down over here. So here I'm going to cover XOR operator. Okay, so let's try to understand how this operator is going to work. Now, if I'm going to write 2 and this symbol and 3, yes, so this is going to be 1. If I'm going to write maybe 2 and then this symbol and 4, it is going to give me 6. So this operator is basically called as XOR operator. Now, how it is going to give me an answer? Let's try to find out by doing a manual calculation one by one. Before doing that, so I have to show you XOR table. So let's try to understand how this XOR table looks like in real. So here XOR, XOR, exclusive OR. It's called as exclusive OR in other word. So let's suppose if I have input A and I have an input B, then output. So I'm going to consider 2-bit. Okay, so this is going in different dimension. Okay, so here is, okay, fine. So here, let's suppose we have, 1 and 1. So the answer is going to be 0. In case of XOR table, if we have 0 and 1, so in that case, answer is going to be 1. If we have 1 and 0, answer is going to be 1. If we have 0 and 0, answer is going to be 0. Simple. So here, in case of XOR, if both the bits are same, in that case, answer is going to be 0. So if 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. If both the bits are alternative 1, so 0 and then second one is 1. So in that case, answer is going to be 1. So it's very easy to remember in that particular way. Now, how system is able to do a calculation for this one? Let's try to understand. So here, what I will do is I'll try to find out a binary equivalence of 2. So binary equivalence of basically 2, I'll try to find out. And then I'll try to find out a binary equivalence. So binary equivalence of basically 4, I'll try to find out. So binary equivalence of 2 is 1, 0 and binary equivalence of 4 is 1, 0, 0. Now let's do the manual calculation to get this 6 here. So binary equivalence of 2 is basically 1, 0. Okay, so 1, 0. Now binary equivalence of 4 is basically 1, 0, 0. So binary equivalence of 4 is basically 1, 0, 0. Let's place it 0 over here. Now let's try to perform this XOR operation. Yes, with the help of this operator, let's try to perform XOR operation. So 0, 0, 0, 0 if we have. So what is the answer I will be able to get? 0. If I have 1, 0, what is the answer I will be able to get? 1. If I have 0, 1, 0, 1, what is the answer I will be able to get? 1. Now this is your final solution. If you are going to convert this binary into its equivalent decimal, you will be able to see answer as 6. Let's try to do that calculation as well. So here I'm going to call int and then I'm going to pass as a string 110, and then here I'm going to keep base is equals to 2. Execute. As you can see, we are able to get 6 and bingo, we are able to get our answer, right? Okay, so let me show you some different example with a negative number, because you all will get stuck with respect to a negative number, and this is what I have done even in case of and OR operation. Yes, even I have done the same thing with respect to and OR operation. So here let me delete couple of things. Okay, so my eraser. Okay, now here what I will do is I'll try to take negative of 4 and then XOR. I can try to give minus or maybe 12 over here. Execute. Now the answer is minus 16. Let's do a calculation. This calculation is going to be a bit lengthy, but if you are going to be with me for next 5 minutes, you all will be able to understand this calculation for your entire life, believe me. So here, what is a binary equivalence of 4? Let's try to do the math for that. So binary equivalence of 4 is 1, 0, 0, as you can see. Now what is a binary equivalence of 12? So binary equivalence of 12. So binary equivalence of 12 is 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay, fine. That's completely fine. Now, like I told you even in previous lecture, that whenever you have a negative number, system is always trying to find out a 2's complement and then it is going to store. So here for 4, in 32-bit, if I have to represent this number, so how I will be able to represent? And again, in case of negative number, you have to consider 32-bit because the very first one is going to denote a most significant bit that is going to tell you whether number is going to be negative or positive. 32-bit is important in case of negative. In case of positive, you don't have to worry about it. You can do the direct calculation. So here, if I have to represent this 4 into a 32-bit, how I can do it? So maybe I can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, then 0, and then 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0. Now this is a 32-bit representation of 4, not minus 4. It's a 4, right? Then I'll try to find out 1s complement. I believe we all know by this time that how to find out 1s complement. So 1s complement is going to be reverse of it. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right? This is the 1s complement. Now I have to find out 2s complement. So what is the 2s complement? So in 1s complement, just add 1. That is going to be a 2s complement. So 1 plus 1, 10, 0, carry forward 1. So 1 plus 1, again 10, 0, carry forward 1. Then it is going to be 1, 0, 1 plus 0, 1, and then 1. And then in the rest of the places, I can fill it as a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now this is representing minus 4 inside my system. This is going to be the representation of actual minus 4 inside my system. Okay, fine. Now there is 12. So I have to write down 12 into 32-bit format. So here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. For 12, I have 1, 1, 0, 0. Okay. Now let's try to perform XOR operation on top of this with the help of this XOR table. Okay. With the help of this XOR table, let's try to perform this operation. My handwriting is not that great, guys, especially on this whiteboard. So just bear with me. But yeah, I believe things are pretty much clear to all of you. So pardon me for my handwriting. But I'm just trying hard to, write it down as much as possible. I'm coming from a pure coding background. So that's a problem with me. My handwriting is not that great at all. So, okay, let's try to do XOR in between minus 4 and 12. Okay. So here 0, 0. So 0, 0, 0. Okay. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So if we have 1, 1, so what is the answer? 0, 1, 1, 0. In rest of the places, we have 1, 0. We have 1, 0. So what is the outcome? 1. It should be 1, right? Okay, write it down. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Right? Now this is going to be the outcome. This is going to be the outcome. But you have to observe one thing. The very first bit is 1. If the very first bit out of this 32-bit is 1, it simply means that it is going to give me output as a negative number, right? And if that is a case, right? If that is a case, you have to convert it back. You have to convert it back into the original so that you will be able to get a proper decimal number, because system is storing this entire things in a form of 2s complement. So I have to again find out the 2s complement to revert it back. So here I'll try to find out 1s complement. This is not going to be the final answer. You can't write it down as a final answer as this one. So you have to find out 2s complement of this, and that is going to be the final outcome, because the very first bit, the most significant bit, is 1 over here. So fine, what is the 1s complement? It's going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 1, 1, 1, 1. Now this is the 1s complement. What is the 2s complement, guys? So 2s complement is nothing but just add 1 in 1s complement, and that is going to give you the 2s complement. So 1 plus 1, 10. So 0, 1 is going to be carry forward. 1 plus 1, 10, again 0, 1 is going to be carry forward. So 1 plus 1, 0, again 1 will be carry forward. 1 plus 1, 0, then again 1 will be carried forward, so 1 plus 0 is equals to 1, and then in rest of the places we'll be having 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 and 0 0 0. Now this is the final digit that you will be able to get, which is 1 and then 4 zeros, but with negative sign. Yes, with a negative sign, because what is my most significant bit? It's 1, and that is the reason. So we are trying to find out 2s complement, right? That is the only reason we are trying to find out the 2s complement. So this number with a negative sign is going to be your final outcome. So let's try to do it, guys. So int, and then inside that as a string, I'll try to pass 1 and then 0 0 0 0. That is the final number that I have, right? And then base is equals to 2. Execute. We are able to get 16. Yes, we are able to get 16, but with a negative sign, because first bit was what? First bit, I'm just trying to do a conversion of this number, not a negative, right? So the first bit was 1. So the sign is going to be negative for this particular number. So this is how you will be able to find out XOR with a positive number and with the negative number. In case of negative number, you have to take care of these things twice. One, when you're trying to enter the data. Second, if the outcome, the very first bit of the outcome is going to be negative, means 1, the very first bit is going to be 1, then again you have to find out the 2s complement, then only you will be able to get your final answer. So with that, thank you so much everyone. Milte hain again in our next lecture with new explanation.